Welcome, Rachanee, to the show. We're so happy to have you with us, and I'm really looking forward to our conversation, and to learn from your brilliant career journey. So, Rachanee is an Asia Pacific Principal Investment Officer at IFC, an institute under World Bank Group. She works in early stage engagements with private sectors to create development and investment projects. So let's start with, how are things today? What are you doing today? What does your role entail at IFC? So tell us a little bit more.
Sure. Thank you very much for this opportunity to join you on this podcast. IFC is the only unit under World Bank Group that the mandate is to support private sector company, and the projects need to have this economic, social, or environmental impact at scale. The engagement that I undertake in this role is very much driven toward this climate objective.
Nice, thank you. So I want to start from the beginning. When you started your career, did you ever think you'll end up doing what you're doing today?
Definitely not. I graduated in dentistry with all the passion for that career. And after 2 years, I started to realize that this is not for my long term. And right there, I decided to take another degree and change my career. So at that timing, the stock market was booming. And my sister worked for a stock exchange and advised me, saying that if you really want to come to business career, maybe finance is a program to go for. And I didn't want to spend another 4 years to earn a bachelor degree. I already spent 6 years to earn dentistry degree, right? So the only way is MBA. I went to the United States for my degree. I pay all the tuition myself since my bachelor degree, right? I was broke at that time. I have to come back quickly to get back into my career. Unfortunately, the year that I returned was the year that we have Asian economic crisis. So I worked there as a part-time dentist, but then after 3 months, I found a job I would like to pursue in a consulting firm. They were looking for a tax consultant, and I knew nothing about tax. I wrote to the company, honestly say that I knew nothing about this role that you are recruiting, but these are my skill set, what I've been trained for. And then they call me, saying that they are looking for someone with dual degree to work in life science sectors, to deal with the medical field.
Okay, wow. I work with a lot of women leaders in Asia as a coach. And I know that sometimes people get very stuck with, oh, I've been doing this for 5 years. What if I change now? Will I lose everything that I've built now? Things like that, right? And therefore, I really want to hear from somebody like you who's been so courageous to make these big shifts. Tell us more about how you were changing things and still being so successful.
So I started off with Coopers & Lybrand. After less than a year, it's merged with Pricewaterhouse, became PwC. And then because of the merger, I think there's redundancy at partner level. So a team of us moved to Deloitte Consulting. And I moved with them, taking up a senior role. It's always at the back of my mind, right? I graduated with my degree, never worked in a real company yet, and I became an advisor to firms out there, right?
Yeah.
And so I always think that I should go and work in a company and feel it myself to run an operations for real before I come back to be an advisor again. So there was an opportunity came in to set up joint venture between U.S. company and Hong Kong company that have a regional footprint for consumer products and healthcare products. I was resuming a role that look after a team of 160 people in sales marketing, managing order to cash cycle management, trade credit, etc. So it was is a real experience, right, in business.
Wow.
And meanwhile, I was approached to join education firm as well that have footprint around the world, owning high school, prep school, and university. And I took up that role because as a country director, it gave me another type of opportunity to oversee all functions in a company. And then there's a recruitment company offered me to join logistic firm. At that time, I never knew about logistics, and I did leverage what skill I have and overcome what I don't know. Right? I don't know logistics. The way they usually go to market would be to engage with supply chain director or procurement. But I would engage as C-suite in talking to the CEO and CFO in a strategic way to unlock the asset value that they have by outsourcing to professional. And the client always asks, why can't you give us consultancy around demand planning, inventory management? But my firm is not interested, right? It doesn't generate the core business for the company. So I decided to leave, and I found this fascinating job at World Bank. That's where I am now.
Wow, wow. You went from life sciences to consumer, to education, to logistics. So did you ever plan it, or did it just happen? Opportunities came and you took them on? Like, what was happening?
To be honest, when I started in consultancy, I really loved the job. I thought that this is it. I'm going to be there throughout my career. But then, as I share, at the back of my mind, being an advisor, without running it myself, I feel that something missing. Yeah. And when the opportunity came, I didn't really look out yet, but the opportunity came, and I thought that this is a chance for me to experience it. And then I consider what's in it for me and what I could contribute to the business.
What were some of the key challenges that you faced during all these moves and during all these years of work that you have behind you?
So, first of all, feeling confident, right? I think naturally from the beginning of anyone's career, when you start, the confidence is not there yet. And for me, I switched a big twist, right, from dentistry to business. At the beginning, I actually still practice over the weekend, just in case that I don't succeed in business world. So feeling confident was definitely a big challenge when you start something new.
So what did you do to overcome that?
I think the key word is being a team player at all levels, across all the job. It is important that we understand what we are, first of all, trying to achieve as a team, right? We need to understand the big picture, the ultimate goals. And then you see what you would and could contribute given your own experience, capability, capacity, authority that you have. And then you look at people around you, what they can play for their parts, your team members, right? You have to see what's the strengths of your team members that can complement each other as a team. And at the same time, you will be creating an opportunity and an environment for your team to develop their skill set as well, right? For them to advance their career.
Correct.
And you will be guiding them with your relevant experience and help resolving issues with the authority you have or relationships that you have with the stakeholders. And seek help, seek advice, seek guidance, inputs, validation from your boss, from your peer, from your clients and specialists in your organization. Make sure that you are on the right track towards the goal. right?
I want to apply a little bit of the gender lens here because since we are talking about women leaders in Asia, did you ever think that your gender either played any role either in your success or in your challenge? Like, what was the role of you being a woman leader there?
Um, to be honest, the space that I have been in, gender inclusivity was there. There was only one company that I work with that I felt that I'm the only woman. Actually, I was the only woman in that panel in the logistic firms that I work with. It's so masculine industry also. Especially when we have executive retreat and the activities that they plan for is so masculine, right? They have a soccer game and things like that, which I can't play and I have to sit aside. And that's the very moment that I felt that gender inclusivity was missing.
The example that you gave is so telling of executive retreats and doing activities which are more male centered, so to say, right? Like, I mean, these are again small things, but again, think about the impact they have. What's been the role of organizations that you have worked with in getting you to where you are, or in supporting you?
For all roles that I work in, and I would say the fundamental is from the beginning. I was fortunate to join consulting firm that give me all the professional skills needed for me to progress into other organization and throughout my career path. And I was fortunate to start off when under the supervision of my boss, who gave me independence and authority. He's more like a coach to me. Right from the start, I was assigned to go overseas talking to CF in major pharmaceutical company. It's a country that I never been there and was alone, right? It's first assignment. I was shocked actually. But looking back, it's a platform for me to develop myself, and always he's there, right? If I have any issue, I wasn't sure. So it's also an environment that built me into a team player when I grew up in my career.
Right. Sitting where you are today in your career, how do you define success? Like, what does success mean for you at all levels?
Okay. I think we are in the organization to be to contributing to what the organization wanted to achieve, right? And so your success has to be in sync with the organization's success, wherever you are in the organization. Point number 2 is that you have further developed yourself, you learn some new knowledge, you build your network. And that's how I progressed my career as well, building on what I have achieved in the past job. But then I also feel every time that I enter into new space that I'm minority, I'm an outsider, I'm not the core team. And you can feel in a negative way, lack of confidence that I mentioned, and not really part of the organization yet. But to my earlier point, if you started to align to the common goal and figure out what you are there for, to contribute what, then pray to your strengths and leverage your team to achieve together the success.
Yeah. We also have to make an effort to just step in, recognize our strengths and step in and contribute to the common cause. That makes so much sense. What would you tell your younger self? Or what actionable tactical advice would you give your younger self looking back?
I would say being agile, having agility to learn, have open mind, right? A growth mindset. Since the dynamic of today world is also changing all the time, and I think young generation need to have these characteristics in themselves, and then build your fundamental. I was fortunate to join consultings that built my professionalism right from the beginning, and that became my fundamental, right? And team players, I cannot emphasize this more. The world is complex, and you cannot achieve the goal on your own. It helps enhancing the ability to achieve more if you are a team player. And then have empathy, right? Empathy for your team, empathy for the stakeholder. And then I think integrity is very important. If you don't deliver what you promise, or you overpromise or underpromise, I don't think people will trust you, right? And last but not least, and this is one of the challenges throughout my career until now, is to have a balance, to take care of yourself. Put your personal activities in your calendar as well, so that you make time for it.
Yes, I mean, I love that advice. Put those activities in the calendar, because normally what happens, only work related stuff goes in the calendar, everything else stays out of it, and then it never gets done, right?
Right.
Is there any interesting anecdote or a story that you remember from either the start of your career or middle of career that kind of maybe shifted your thinking or shaped your thinking?
At Accenture, quite a number of years back, that I started to think that what will fulfill my life more, right? Always working for the organization target, right? Sales target. It's not that fulfilling after we achieve so many things, right? That define ourselves. I started to think that I like to work in a space that I could contribute to the society, to the community. And I have a friend who work for the UN, and I always told her that if there is anything open, let me know. But then always it's more like social work, which I'm not good at. So until I found this job at World Bank, that this is it. This is where I could contribute what I've gained for all my career to do more and achieve what I've been looking for. It's sort of a purpose of life, right?
Any last bit of advice or words of wisdom for our listeners?
I think that the world is so exciting, right? Don't be afraid, and walk on it step by step, right? And build on what you have gained, and give out to your team members as well, because they also need to progress. And that's how we could be successful together as a team.
Great. Thank you so much, Rachanee, for this conversation. I really enjoyed myself, and I'm sure our listeners will enjoy it too. I took away so much, but the ones that stood out for me, the first one was obviously the change. Don't be afraid to make changes. Be bold and courageous. I mean, the fact that you went from studying dentistry to studying MBA, I mean, that is as bold as one can get. So don't be afraid. The other key takeaway was go broad. I love this fact that you kind of gained experience in life sciences, then consumer, then education, then logistics. So it really made your portfolio so broad. And sometimes we are scared to do that. We just kind of want to develop expertise just in one area. And once we do that, we are afraid to step out. So that was the second one for me, that go broad, build expertise in multiple industries or functions. And the third one, I loved it that you said, is that while all of this is happening, seek out help, seek out support, whether it's with the organization, outside organization, whether it's through your network. And the last one is the balance. That's the fourth one, but balance, put your personal activities in your calendar. And that's a very tactical advice that we can all start to do from tomorrow.
You said go broad, right?
Yes.
But then I think we also need someone to go deep as well.
Absolutely.
Right? So those who become specialists, expertise, an expert in certain things, I think we also value their choice, right? Because we also need someone to go deep.
Absolutely.
And thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Really enjoyed the conversation. And I hope you had fun too. I mean, I really enjoyed listening to your journey.
Yes, I do. Thank you very much.